This video, we're going to be breaking down the Y-off trips pass formation in the New England Patriots offensive playbook. This is also known as U-trips, one of the best offenses year in and year out. It has really, I think, the top couple of the best routes in the game this year. It has stock zig routes. It has short corners, short post routes, very valuable routes, in my opinion. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. Now, the audibles that I would set for this offense is curl flat, slot out, deep slot curl, tight end whip. Tight end whip to me is the play that I like to run probably the most. But we are going to be coming out in Y option wheel because it is a very good quick hike play. And then I'll also be going over a couple of other plays that you can kind of come out in. Another really underrated piece of this offense is you have some actually really decent audibles in here. You have trips tied in, you have bunch Y flex, which is a really nice formation to audible into. You have tight open, so you can audible around within this offense pretty easily and have some nice plays to be able to go to. So, anyways, without further ado, also you have Y off trips weak, which has some auto motion plays that are kind of good as well. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into this Y option wheel and why this play is so good. So this is basically a quick snap. And what I like to do with this is there's really two setups. I think you can basically one hot route, snap the ball quick. The first is just put the tight end on a corner route. And basically the way you're going to read this is you're going to look to your wheel route first. If that's not open, you're going to look to this tight end corner. As you see, that tight end corner is pretty quick. It's a sharp, short corner that you get from the tight end apprentice that you're able to hot route. And then the other thing that you have in this play is this sharp cutting post. The beauty of this sharp cutting post, it's going to do a really good job against man, and then it's also going to do a good job against zone as well. And then you'll see here, sometimes this linebacker, when they play like a stock cover four, the linebacker will kind of run out there a lot more than he will if they shade underneath or they put their yellows on 5. But if they're in a stock cover 4, normally your running back will be open. So, I mean, it's literally like a really quick, I'm going to peek to the left side. So I'm just going to look here. Can I throw this? Okay, I can throw this quick, and I'll just take it. And then typically what that's going to mean is that's going to force your opponent to shade underneath. And when they shade underneath, stop that. Now you look back here to your tight end corner, and you see your tight end corner is wide open. Now, if they try to switch stick onto that corner route, it typically is going to be they're going to switch stick onto this outside quarter. So if they are going to do that, this is one of the nice things about the spacing in U-trips is you will have a touchdown over the top of this, as you can see right there, or at least a big hitter fade route that you can hit on that outside. And then let's go ahead and get into some of the other coverages. So cover 3 hard flat is a really popular coverage as well. And basically, this is almost going to be very similar. So you're going to see here, the post is a nice option. As you see, it just kind of gets open in the back side of this. So the user has to kind of put a lot of energy into guarding the post. And so if they do that, if they put a lot of energy into guarding the post, then that's going to leave your tight end corner kind of right over here, wide open against that coverage. So again, real simple, but I think really effective. And then if they do run cover 2, if it's a cover 2 soft squat or hard flat, the corner will still be open. But let's say it's like a cover 2 cloud. Cover 2 cloud, really, we're just going to take our flat routes. We're going to take our wheel. We're going to take our flat here on the right side. And we're just going to, basically be good with that. So you see here, oh, it's a cover 2 flat. I could just throw this late and, take what the defense gives me with that little flat route. If it's man coverage, typically this play, as far as man coverage goes, you're going to have your tight end corner pretty consistently against man coverage. And again, this is a very quick route, but it's very good against man coverage. You can even stem this down one, honestly. Let me show you something kind of neat. So if you stem this down one, he's going to run almost like a slant out. It still is going to manipulate those hard flats. So the only thing they can really do is put a curl flat over there. And if they do that, you'll see here, they put a curl flat over there. Then you've got your S post or your sharp cutting post over there. The yellow kind of played a little bit more than he normally will. And then other things that we can do off of this play is we can run kind of this little like out route combo with this wheel. And so you'll see how you can kind of throw this wheel into the seam area of the field and just kind of catch it. Another thing you can do with this that I think is underrated is put the running back on a streak instead of a wheel. and then basically do that same exact idea. And the reason that this is really good is because if they're playing those hard flats, then now you're going to force them to make a little bit more of a decision if they're going to guard the running back with their user or if they're going to guard that or that sharp cutting post. So anyway, this is one of my favorite plays, and I think one of the best plays in U trips. The next setup is to just streak your tight end and snap the ball quick. Again, if they're not playing hard flats, then you can throw this over here on the left side. And then if they are playing hard flats, what's kind of nice about this quick snap is typically what that's going to mean is that this post is going to get open, as you see, kind of across the middle of the field. Now, this is, again, it's a little bit of one of those things where it's going to depend on how they're playing with their yellows. So as their yellows drifting way back, or is their yellows sitting underneath? Most of the time, people's yellows will do that where they drift way back like that. If they do that, one little alternate variation on this that I like is to bring a backside drag. So watch this yellows. You'll see they'll drop back super far, and then I can just throw this little shallow cross over the middle for, you know, a pretty good gain. And so this is something I'll do to kind of just like, again, the more the yellow zones are getting back a lot, I'll just take these underneath routes again and again and again. And then what that's going to force your opponent to do, which this is what most people do anyway now at this point in the year, is they're going to put those hook curls, they're going to put those on 5. And so when we get them to put those hook curls on 5 to try to take away some of the underneath aspects of this play, then what you're going to see is your tight end seam streak is now a lot more of an option against cover 4. The tight end seam streak is also really good if they are in cover 2. So cover 2, the way the plays this year is these halves, they get super, super wide. So you're just going to throw this straight up the seam, straight up the crease, and it's going to be a really nice route to be able to attack. So what we ultimately kind of force people into, kind of the coverage that most people are going to get into once you use these couple plays, is they're going to get into a coverage, essentially like a roll coverage. So what that would look like would be basically something like this right here, where we have we're kind of rolling over the top on this right side, and so this is going to open up some really nice throwing lanes on the left side of the screen, and we want to kind of get to those a couple different ways. So one of the ways that I like to do it is I like to use this play slot out, because I have this really nice clear out route to the solo receiver, and then I also have this sharp cutting post. This is kind of similar to the post out of motion Y post and trips. But basically what I like to do here is, if you just, I'll show you here. So if you watch, here's that sharp, see how that sharp cutting post kind of just gets into a nice spot? So what you can do, and especially because of the way hot routes work in this game, is you can kind of really take advantage of this type of coverage right here. So the way that we can take advantage of that coverage is a couple of different really easy things. The first one is just slanting the tight end. And then what I like to do is a tight end slant, you can leave the speed out here. And then if you want to put the running back on if you want to block him or put him on a table route, that's fine. But what you're going to see happen is this tight end slant kind of gets across the field really quickly. And if they're playing hard flat coverage, it's a little bit more open. If they're not playing a hard flat type coverage, obviously, again, we're just going to, we can just attack them like this. So, again, like here, I'll show you. So you see how that curl flat backs up pretty far? That's where having a table route is really valuable, or just having something that you can hit with the running back quick, I think is really valuable. So again, just a tight end slant, a backside in, maybe a clear out streak for your S post, and then a running back table route. You'll see here that this is a really underrated route combo in U-Trips this year. A lot of people don't even use this. But what this forces them to do is it forces them to hard flat this left side. And so now you see how much more open this tight end route is. So really like this setup. Another variation of this same kind of idea is to go to Pat's slot out. If I can find it, or slot out here, and you can take the tight end, and if you have tight end apprentice, you can put the tight end on a tight end apprentice crosser, or you could just put him on a tight end post and stem him down to almost like a sharp, not a sharp, but almost like a deeper slant. And watch where he'll get to on the field. So you'll see he'll kind of get over in here, which is really valuable because, again, you're just trying to get some stress on that left side. Another play that I like out of this is curl flat because we have this kind of already set up, and we have a stock table route, which in this year's game is really good. So all we're going to do is we're just going to streak this outside receiver, and then you can kind of decide how you want to do this on the right-hand side. It really is, kind of up to you how you want to run the routes on the right. I think a simple deep in route is really valuable, maybe like a 5-yard in and a 15-yard in. But essentially what we're looking to hit is we're looking to hit this high-low between the corner route and the running back table, which is, again, a nice read. And basically we're just trying to force them to cover 2 on this right side because this curl flat route combo right here, you'll see this corner route. I'm just going to snap it about right here. And if they hard flat, what I'm able to do is just throw this to the sideline. And you're going to get, this is why I like to do this a lot out of like slot out though, which I didn't quite show. So with slot out, what's nice about this play, you have this post that I think is really, really good. It's backside post. So what I would do with this is you could do something as simple as blocking the running back, drag the tight end. We're going to motion, or we're going to corner route. You can do it from a post or a corner, because normally I think the post will stay, yeah. But anyway, so you see how we kind of get that. And then we have this sharp cutting post that a lot of people just really sleep on in this formation. Because the reason I like these sharp cutting posts so much is it's really hard to switch stick these sharp cutting posts. And it's going to do a really, really good job of attacking any kind of man coverage. Because these sharp cutting posts, they just get really good separation against man coverage. Of course, I say that and I get kind of bagged there. But against most coverages, most man coverages, this is going to be a pretty good read. You can actually hit it here. You see here, gets that cut to the inside, and he's able to hit that. And again, that's why I really like these sharp cutting posts. So we're able to kind of pepper attack the corners on both sides, which I think is really valuable. Another setup I like on a curl flat that I think is kind of an underrated setup is just corner routing the solo wide receiver. What's nice about this is, like, again, if they're curl flatting, your table is going to be right there. I really like stock table routes, like table routes that come on the play. They're better than the ones that you hot route. And so what that forces them to do defensively is they have to hard flat now. And so this corner route is just one of those routes. It's kind of hard with the way zones play in this game. Literally just a solo receiver on a corner route. It's actually a really, really good read. And I'll show that real quick here. So you see, like, even if I'm pressed up, this corner route, the deep quarter is going to back up so far. And there's just a lot of space to be able to throw that. I don't even think you have to freeform that any which way. I think you can just pass lead it to the left side. Let me try to show that one more time here. So you see, just passing this to the left. And it gets into a nice spot. Another thing that I did want to say is if you have a route, that U-Trips has a lot of these wheel routes right here. So if you have like a wheel route, the wheel route is also a good read because I can throw the wheel route quick, or he's going to cut up and he's going to help even clear out that quarter even better. So wheel routes are perfectly fine for you to be able to hit. Another setup that I like out of the slot out, it's kind of an underrated one, honestly. Again, I still see a lot of people doing this in U-Trips. But I like the tight end drag, and then you have this this deep fade here on the left side, kind of clearing out a lot of space. And then what I like to do is I love having either a flat here, or if you have a slot apprentice, and you can put him on a wheel route and then put the running back underneath. So just like a simple mesh concept, basically, is what we're getting. But what you're going to see is watch how much space is in the middle of the field for this receiver to work. And so that's going to have to kind of be usered. And then because they're going to have to user that route, then that's going to do things like open up the running back on this just little check down underneath route where, it's just going to be difficult for them to cover everything. Again, ultimately, we're forcing our opponent into a lot of cover 2 type coverages is typically where this is going to all lead to, which is another reason why I like Pat Slot Out. So with Pat Slot Out, this fade is kind of a cool fade. It can be thrown against cover 2. As you see right there, it's a little bit of a, like, you kind of need to get some reps with this pass. But this pass lead is really good against cover two. So what you're going to do is, and you don't have to necessarily have anything to really pair it with. I would just say, I feel like you kind of should have this tight end post. Like if you put this on a drag route, sometimes this isn't as good. Let's see here. Whoops, I guess I wasn't in the right play. But like if I'm in cover two, let me go slot out here, and I drag the tight end. I just want you to watch this safety on the left side. So you see how he kind of can play this a little better when I don't have that tight end post. So what I like to do is I'll just leave this tight end post on this play, because this is kind of a specific play, like to cover two, that I'm trying to manipulate. So I'll leave this tight end post here, which is kind of almost like to a degree, a clear out. And then typically what we'll do, because I don't really want to have a soft squat match this guy. If I'm thinking they might be in cover two, what I'll do is any kind of flat route. So like it could be a running back table route, it could be a motion over flat, any kind of flat route would be something that I would want to hit. And then basically, like literally just calling this like this. Now you see how he goes way more inside, and it's a lot more open. You do have to practice this throw, because if you don't throw this on good timing, which I did not do right there, you're going to be in trouble. But if you throw with good timing, you're pretty much golden. And again, you could even do something as simple as just a backside drag like this. Like this is perfectly fine. But what we're looking for here is passing that hard to the left side. You're going to get that animation normally when you get this right, and you're able to manipulate cover two. So a couple different ways by which we can manipulate cover two if they're cover twoing us on the left side or the right side. Another combo that I like out of this is to play tight end whip. So if you look at this play, you have that same post route from slot out you have in tight end whip. You also have a speed out, which is one of the most underrated routes in the game. And then you have a backside post, short post, and then a running back kind of squiggly route. So what I like to do with this play is I like to flat the solo receiver and streak the running back and basically just snap the ball like this. What you're going to see is if they're in press, like cover two man, I want you to watch this out route on the right. You're going to see that he can just kind of like win. And you see just get that little bit of separation to the sideline on shade down man. And I think it's just extremely valuable to have. So the way they can stop this route is basically, you're going to see here, I'm going to shade outside, and now you see he's going to actually get pressed, but the tight end whip is now going to be open against that. So if you see, it's kind of a read to me, but if I see like them shading outside on this play, then I'll just put the guy on a flat because I don't want it to interfere with the tight end route. So if I put him on a flat here, you see he doesn't interfere with that, and then this is open. Another thing that I don't think is actually a terrible idea that you can do, and this is if you have slot apprentice, is you can put this guy on a wheel, and if they shade outside underneath, this could be a big hitter. I'll show you. So you see, watch the shade down man. It kind of played pretty good there, but it just kind of clears out more space for your tight end to be able to work. But what I really like is against shaded inside underneath man, like cover two man style, which is the main way people play man. This is going to stock kind of win. Kind of got hung up there. I don't know why he got hung up there. But these out routes can kind of win. Let me see if I can get you actually a good clip. We showed it a second ago, but these out routes can kind of give him a lot of trouble here. Let's see if we can get it. Yeah, so you see once he gets his cut, he's able to win to the outside. So kind of up to you if you want to run that route or if you want to run a flat route against man coverage. I just think there's some advantage to that. Against zone coverage, what's really cool about this is if you take a look here, it's a speed flat basically. And so what's going to happen is if they're not playing hard flats, this quick route, you'll see just passing that outside, really a nice route for about 5 yards against anything that's not a hard flat. So then they're going to start hard flatting, of course. So we go with tight end whip. And they hard flat. And now I want you to watch this tight end route. That 5 yard yellow guards it, but guess what's wide open and behind it? That nice sharp S post, or that nice sharp shortcut post. So So what that does is it puts them in a lot of conflict on this outside because you have the flat, you have the tight end whip, and then you have this post right here. Now, the other routes, this kind of two-man game that we're going to have over here to the left side, I think is just perfect because the yellow zones are going to struggle to guard this running back streak. So you have that as well within this, and then let's say you do get like a cover two coverage. This is where you can kind of just be patient on this, and a lot of times this running back gets open in the seam. Let me show that one more time here. So actually called tight end whip. So if you see here, you got the flat, you still have that post, and then you have that running back streak. So it just kind of depends on how they want to defend you. If you wanted to, another thing we could do, which we didn't quite get into yet, you can't do it unless you have backfield apprentice, but you can wheel the running back and basically do the same thing. So you see it could do literally something like this. The reason this is good is because if they're running a lot of cover two, these wheels really give these deep halves a lot of trouble, and so you can throw these wheels on the sideline. Another thing that you can do against cover two that I think is kind of an underrated thing that you can actually do is if you have backfield apprentice, it's especially good, is you have a streak and then you're going to flat this outside player and you're going to wheel your running back. And so what'll happen here is your running back, you watch this deep half kind of go in, and then this just gets into a real soft spot against the defense. You can also do the same basic concept if you have a post. So if we go Y option wheel here, we're just gonna flat this outside receiver. The way I would probably do it is something like this, but it basically looks like this. And then just take a look at this running back wheel. See how the deep half goes super far inside, kind of a little bit back outside, honestly there. But these wheels are pretty good. Let me just try to run like a basic two-man game here. See if we can get this safety to bite. Yeah, you see how that is. So anyway, I just wanted to show that these wheel routes can give cover two a lot of issues. Same thing's pretty much true on the tight end whip play. So like this is why I was saying you might consider put this guy on the right on a whip route, because if you do that, watch this deep half, he's going to go to the post, and then there's this little window where you can hit this over the top on the safety. So another thing that you can do in U-trips that I think makes it really cool is really any play. It doesn't have to be anything special, but it's basically if they're running a lot of cover two on you, what you can do is you can go with I would actually probably do it out of this play. I will say it's kind of just a situational thing that you want to use it for, but it's this play Y out. What's cool about Y out is you do have a wheel route to the outside receiver. You also have this tight end out, and you have kind of these routes. So what I like to do with this, the way I would set this up, is you can either block the tight end or you can block the running back to give you some extra time if you want it. But I just corner route, in route, or corner route drag, right? But then I have this post and I have this wheel. So this combination with the corner route on the backside is going to do a really good job against cover two. So you're going to see that this will just split the safeties. It's like perfect spacing and just really manipulates that cover two coverage. Another thing we didn't really cover yet, because I actually don't think you really need it, but if you are needing like a cover three bomb, pretty much what you can do in this game to attack cover three, it's not really that difficult. I would just go to slot out, corner route this outside guy like this, and then you can put whatever you want with the running back. But this tight end post against cover three just kind of splits it, as you see. So that's an option for you to be able to bomb cover three. So these are pretty much my mainstay plays for U-trips. I'll show you one other one that I like. This is if you don't have tight end apprentice. You can still kind of use it. We didn't even get into this X curl play. I might have to look at that real quick too. Or deep slot curl, stutter curl seam. This play is really good. So what you can do if they're hard flatting you is literally you're just going to streak this guy on the left side. I don't think you could do whatever you want with the running back. And you can do really whatever you want with the backside. What I like to do on the backside here is I really like flatting the slot, and I like a 15 to 20 yard in route. So like super deep in route. Just something like this. This running back route's kind of good. It beats man. And then you have that nice spacing for that short crosser from the tight end that I think is really good. And then we didn't cover this play much yet. Deep slot curl, all you're going to do is streak the slot receiver. This is more for like cover 3, cover 4. But basically what we get here is we just get this tight end kind of running in through, and it's a nice cover 3 beater. Kind of similar to Pat slot out, but it's just using that tight end in the seam is going to make it super difficult, and they're going to have to do some specific things to be able to stop it. So U-trips has just always been about the spacing that this formation allows you to have. It's just a really well-designed formation. And this year with the way switch stick is, I think that a U-trips formation is actually really effective. So with that in mind, that is the U-trips offense. I want to thank you for watching the video. And if you want to check out any of my full offensive or defensive ebooks for Madden 25, you can get access to those in our school community. It gives you both Madden 25 and College Football 25 for just $10. So if you want to sign up, the link is in the description below.